Kia ora and welcome. I hope you're having a great Friday. My name's Mike Rehu. Welcome to Rehu Rugby and our Super Rugby Aotearoa Round 9 preview of the game between Crusaders and the Blues. A first versus third on the table. Let's just take a quick look at how things look pre-round 9. The Crusaders high and handsome at the top there. Although they've been stuttering the last couple of weeks. You can see the two red boxes there, two losses to the Highlanders and the Chiefs have blotted their copybook and they've been stuttering a little bit. The Blues, however, have followed a similar pattern. Started well, but with 3 losses of their own. So they're slightly behind the Chiefs. So it's a do-or-die effort for the Blues on Sunday afternoon against the Crusaders as well. All right, let's take a look at the starting teams for Sunday's clash. For the champions, the Crusaders, they've brought Sam Whitelock and Cullen Grace back into the pack at lock and number 8. Scott Robertson was quizzed about Cullen Grace this season and how well he's been going. And basically, of course, Scott Robertson backed him. But for me, he's been just missing that passion. Technically, he's been fine. He just hasn't been throwing his body around. He reminded me of Norm Maxwell sometimes last year, where he was just throwing his body around. Drummond starts over Hall at halfback, and Lester Whainganuku has overcome his HIA period, and he's ready to start in the 13 jersey. So he's come in one for the injury of Jack Goodhue. On the bench, there's the picture of Tamaiti Williams, 140 kilos, not a small lad by any means, 21 years old, and he's played a lot at tight head. I remember seeing him at St Kitts about 3 years ago in a very good 15 that's got a couple of other Super Rugby players in there as well. I had them in there. He's going to cover at loosehead prop on Sunday for George Bauer, and that will be a debut, a Super Rugby debut, if he gets on the field. For the Blues, well, Leon McDonald's thrown a bomb under this team. The most surprising move, I guess, is Harry Plummer will start at 10 over Aotearoa Black. That's a huge call. Kurt Eklund comes back. Hopefully he's over his Brock Lesnar suplexes. He got a suspension for that. He starts in the number 2 jersey. Hopefully that'll fix things there at hooker for the Blues. Lalala Tuanukiafi in at prop. Sam Dowie keeps his position at lock because Josh Goodhue is still injured. The Goodhue brothers out for both teams. Out in the back line, there's another change at flanker as well. Blake Gibson comes back from injury as well. So they've got 2 open sides at flanker. Tanielu Talia will start at 12 over TJ Faiani. And Mark Talia keeps his spot at 14. I think probably pretty lucky after his last performance. And the co-captains will be Dalton Papali'i and Riku Ioane, just 23 and 24 years old respectively. Of course, Tom Robinson with his cut and head knock as well, not available this week. Also looking at the bench over there on the right, you'll see 2 debutants on the bench. Tane Plumtree, the son of John Plumtree, and also a guy who really rocked the socks off the Super Rugby Under-20 tournament in Taupō last week. So Oni Vakena will get his, hopefully his debut off the bench as well. What a great player he is. Really look forward to seeing him amongst the big boys. All right, 3 keys for me for the Crusaders. They really need to sort out this tackle zone. It's not going great. They're not getting go-forward ball. They're not winning the contact. It's been really slovenly in the last few weeks for the Crusaders. Obviously, they miss Christie at open side flanker who's injured, but don't discount as well Jack Goodhue and the work he does at the breakdown. He's really strong in the tackle as well. So they really need to sort that out. Is Havili Talitui the answer at 7? I don't think so, but he's going to have to do his job and go beyond the call of duty really at 7, because now he's fighting 2 open side flankers as well at that tackle area. It's going to be a tough afternoon for him. And the Crusaders need the go forward, both from set piece and broken play, phase play. They need that go forward for Richie Mo'unga. We see what a capable player he is when they're going forward. A spectacular player, really, when they're going forward, when they have the possession. But otherwise, teams can nullify him. We've seen it right through from last week against the Chiefs, even back to England in the World Cup semi-final in 2019. If his team can't get possession and go forward, he's not as great as when they're on the front foot, that's for sure. Now, for the Crusaders, it's their last round robin game. They can throw everything at this. It's really important that they guarantee themselves the home final spot, because if they lose this game, they open the door both for the Chiefs, who play tonight, they could win, and the Blues as well. In fact, if they lose to the Blues on Sunday, it's basically a winner takes all the next week between the Chiefs and the Blues to see who will get that home final advantage. So very important game for the Crusaders. All right, for the Blues, as we see, some big changes. Plummer especially is an interesting one. Is it inspired or is it panicking? What I loved about the Blues last week, there wasn't much to love about it, it was very indisciplined, was the combination between Aotearoa Black and Caleb Clark. Finally, the Blues got Caleb Clark into the game, and he ran for well over 120, 130 metres. Some really good runs. And I think from that as well, the Blues really need to understand, once they get into the red zone, what they need to do to finish. There were a couple of times there where they were focused on getting over the advantage line. They got into the red zone, but they probably went a phase or two too far before they spread it wide. I'd love to see them when they're hot on attack, if they can get some attacks from Caleb Clark again, and Mark Dallaire, if he can step up as well. Once they're in that red zone, get it out wide, exploit some of the open spaces out wide. I thought that's a real trick that they missed last week. And for me, the Blues bench, it's make or break for them. They've got some very experienced players there, Ofa Tuongafasi, Akira Ioane. They need to come on and make a difference. And also, really interesting about the two debutants, Tane Plumtree, known Morph as a blindside flanker. So if he has to come on early at lock, that's going to create a lot of pressure on their line-out, I would imagine, for the Blues. So they want to hold him off as long as possible. So for me, the bench is really important. We'll see Aotearoa Black come on sometime in the second half as well, you'd imagine. It's going to be a great game. But for me, I think I was hoping the Blues were going to get up just to make the competition interesting. But I think after this team, there's just too many ifs and buts for me. I reckon the Crusaders by 9, just looking at those two 23s. What do you think? Comment down there, subscribe down there to Rehu Sport on YouTube or Facebook. Really looking forward to this weekend. And of course, let's not forget to our great Anzac heroes who died to make New Zealand the great place that it is. And hope you respect that and enjoy the Anzac weekend as well. For now, it's goodbye. Enjoy the weekend's rugby. This has been a production of Tahu Films. Haere rā.